What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sunday Sports Club Podcast, a podcast all about sports told by a woman. But on Thursdays, we let my husband join in because he misses football.
Yeah, not a woman, but NFL player.
Thanks for making that distinction because I was curious.
Him, he.
Anyways, welcome to this week's episode of The Huddle, where you can get your juicy, up-to-date sports digestible news. So we're going to talk about football. We're going to talk about the WNBA, and we're going to talk about the MLB.
Can't wait.
You know everything about all sports, right?
Yeah.
Because you're a man.
Yeah.
Because you have a penis.
Who?
That's funny. Isaac, name 3 players on the Dodgers. Oh, that's funny. Can I see your man card? That's what men will be doing whenever a girl says she likes football. Like, oh, name 3 players. It's like, get a fucking grip, Chad.
Okay, my God. So I guess to get Allie fired up for the podcast, all we need to do is try to put our daughter down for 2 hours.
You guys, man, motherhood is rough, but we'll get to that on this week's actual episode. This is kind of like a fake episode. We'll get to that on Sunday, where I can just give you guys a life update as to what's going on. But as for this episode, what is happening today in sports? Let's talk about the Detroit Lions.
What about them?
I'm not going to say the M word.
Obliterated.
But they
unalived
They beat the Cowboys, really bad.
The Cowboys.
It was 47-9.
They got to figure it out. The thing is, the Cowboys are riding the high from last week when they won, and Dak Prescott was like...
I know they won last week against the Steelers in overtime. It was overtime, right?
Yeah, and Dak Prescott had...
Wait, was it overtime?
I don't know. But Dak Prescott had the quote where he was like, jump off the ship if you don't want to be here, like telling his teammates, like, go somewhere. Then they put up 9 points against Detroit.
Yeah, and Detroit put up 47.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Jared Goff.
It was Jerry Jones' birthday.
Yeah, they also asked Jerry Jones after the game, is he going to fire the head coach? And Jerry Jones said, do you think I'm an idiot? No,
why?
Because he's like, I'm not firing my head ball coach.
Wow, that's an intense question.
He goes down swinging, though. I mean, look, everybody was like, get rid of Dak Prescott, and he made Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback of all time. He kind of does
Jerry
his own
Jones
thing.
doesn't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, in that case, my husband does not want a job. No, but last year, the Lions should have won, but the officials said that their offensive lineman wasn't an eligible receiver.
What O-lineman? What's his name?
I don't know.
Dan Skipper.
Isaac, that's shit that does nobody listening to this podcast is like, oh, I really want to know the name of the guy.
I guarantee you every Detroit fan that listens to this podcast knows who Dan Skipper is.
Okay, well, we're far and few, unfortunately. Anyways, so yeah, Detroit played like they were out for revenge. I do my best work when I'm trying to get revenge. So I totally get it from Detroit's perspective. But did anybody see Aidan Hutchinson break his tibia?
Yeah, first off, super tough for Aidan. Aidan is about to get a bag. Like, about to get a baggy bag.
Like money?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have a new contract here pretty soon. He's going to get paid either way, but I know he had a lot.
So do you think him getting injured affects how much he's going to get paid?
No.
Really?
Listen, Aidan...
I feel like a tibia injury... Which, it was pretty gruesome.
Aidan Hutchinson will be the highest paid all-time defensive player when he signs a new contract.
What about his tibia?
Doesn't matter.
His tibia is also getting paid?
His tibia, fibia, ACL, MCL will all be the highest paid joints and bones of all time.
Did you see the injury?
No, I don't watch injuries. You know this. Allie was trying to stuff the injury in my face.
I know. Wait, hold on. I didn't stuff anything in Isaac's face. Okay? Let's just make that
face stuffing.
Very clear. It's not Thanksgiving, Isaac. No, but I went to go show Isaac the clip of Aidan Hutchinson getting injured because I just find it interesting. It's horrible.
What is interesting about watching an injury?
Am I a red flag?
Therapy. You need to go see
Isaac,
somebody.
I actually have a therapy appointment tomorrow.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
At 9:30 a.m.
Swear to God.
Swear to God.
What?
Anyways, we'll talk about that after this episode.
You're like, after I refill my Wellbutrin, we'll talk about that.
Wow, this episode is getting very off topic, but Why do you not like watching NFL players' injuries?
I'm 0% superstitious. That's just the one thing. As a
You're a
player,
little stitious.
no, I hate that phrase. When you're in the NFL, the minute you start thinking about injuries is the minute you need to retire, because you cannot play. Like, you have to be full send. You have to not care about your body. I'm never in a game or mid play like, oh, I don't want to get hurt. You have to full send. So I don't want to see the injury and be thinking about. I just want to play ball.
Now, there was a play this week.
I was really out here talking like I had a game like this weekend. I'm not on the team.
All right, guys, I'm going to sound a little basic because fall is my favorite time of the year. And with football every year, the fall season kind of varies because one year I was living in Indiana and then Cleveland and then Vegas. And Vegas doesn't sound like a very fall place. You know, it's like 100 degrees there. So while I can't really rely on the cold weather to get my fall spirits up, especially now that we're currently living in California, I can rely on fall home decor. Macy's has such a wide variety of things to refresh your home for the new season, from plush comforters and crisp white towels to a mountain of cozy pillows. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a type of person, the more pillows, the better. I'm not a minimalist when it comes to home decor. The more, the better, okay? Macy's has it all, and I think a new season is the perfect time to refresh everything. So getting a holiday sheet set, a new duvet, some throw pillows, and then when the season's over, just store them away for next year, and then it's kind of like getting new stuff all over again, right? But I feel like everyone knows of Macy's because of the clothes, but the home decor is where it's at. They have such good basics, but they also have really good stuff for fall and like really cute pumpkins. And you guys, recently I came across a fur throw blanket at Macy's, and instead of having it on my couch where it's supposed to live, it's been on my bed with me every single night because we keep our AC at 66. That's how Scottie likes it, and my husband likes it. So it kind of feels like fall over here, even though we are in California. So don't miss out. Shop online at Macys.com or swing by in store from October 18th to October 27th. And you can get between 40 to 60% off in store and online. People always ask, oh, what is your husband going to do when he retires from football? What job is he going to do? Blah, 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 blah. Well, you guys, he's been playing football for the past 7 years. And over the past 7 years, don't you think that we've been like preparing for football to be done sometime or another? We've made sure to vary our sources of income, but also to invest and save. Y'all, I'm not spending all of our money, okay? If y'all have never heard of Acorns before, Acorns makes it super easy to start automatically saving and investing for your future. You don't need a ton of money or like a huge lump sum or expertise when it comes to investing with Acorns. You can get started with literally spare change, like pennies, dimes, nickels, like any amount of money you can start investing. Acorns recommends an expert-built portfolio that fits you and your money goals, then automatically invest your money for you. So you really don't have to do much. Investing your money is so important. I feel like I never learned about investing growing up. And then when we got a financial advisor, he spoke about how beneficial it can be to invest your money that you just have sitting in your account. Because why have it just sit there when it can be potentially making you more money? Something I always found interesting is whenever these guys are playing football, their first year in the league, they end up having a few financial advisors come and speak to them and how important it is to invest their money and save so that they have money left over when they're done playing football, so that they're not making headlines, you know? So with that being said, be sure to head over to acorns.com/Sunday or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Sunday. All right, guys, I don't know if this is a niche experience. You can let me know, but I used to frequent Applebees so much throughout college, whether it was sitting there studying for finals, because like studying goes hand in hand with food. I feel like I learned more, or like I obtained more information when I have food and studying, or hitting up Applebees late night after a football game, after tailgating all day, and you're like, I just need some Applebees. Applebees truly has something for everyone, and I mean everyone, because go ahead and look at their menu. They have steak, ribs, burgers, pasta, dessert. The dessert looks really good. What else do they have? They have drinks. And thanks to the popularity of the Dollarita, okay, a $1 margarita. Yep, you're hearing that right. $1 margarita. Y'all, I would eat that up, or should I say drink? Well, this spooky season, Applebee's is bringing back the Dollar Zombie. It's a $1 infectious rum cocktail, and it's $1, like 4 quarters. So the drink is a blue rum cocktail, and it's topped with this gummy brain, which is, I feel like that's like reason enough to want to order this drink, other than the fact that it's literally only $1, making it the perfect drink to enjoy all October, especially before any Halloween events. It's sure to infect your night with a good time. You see what I did there? So come into Applebee's and enjoy this spooky cocktail before they're gone. There was an instance this past weekend during a football game where a player didn't want to get a penalty of tackling the quarterback. And so he didn't tackle the quarterback, which he thought he was sliding and then he didn't slide. I think that's kind of fucked up that a quarterback can like get away with like pretending to slide and then not sliding and then continuing to run, and a player would either get a penalty or miss a tackle, quote unquote.
It just is what it is. It's just the game we play.
Ew.
I really don't have a great answer. I do think it's dumb, but I mean, I've seen fake slides before.
Interesting. Okay, well, back to Aidan Hutchinson and the Lions. So
Aidan and the boys.
He broke his tibia. Is he out for the rest of the year?
Is it confirmed tibia or is it fibia?
It's tibia.
He broke his ibia, and he's going to be, well, he just had surgery in Texas, in Irving, Texas, came back, and they said that his intent is to return to play. No timeline.
Wow.
But if you have a clean break on a bone like that, it takes like 8 weeks and you could be back.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, if you have a clean incision when you have a C-section, it's harder to sew you up. How common is it to score 47-9?
To have that score difference?
Yes.
That's pretty uncommon. I mean, it's really bad in the NFL. Think about it.
Do you think NFL teams get to a point where they're like, wait, we're like ahead a lot, we don't want to overly embarrass them, or is that no?
There's a little code of conduct where, yeah. But, I mean, listen, it's the NFL. They have the same salary caps. They have the same opportunities to go get players. You know, everybody's paid. They work too. So
is it common to lose that badly at home?
It's awful. It's embarrassing.
At home or anytime?
Anytime. In my entire NFL career, I've never lost that bad.
Really?
When would I have lost that bad?
Well, you're currently losing.
It's, man, 100-0 right now. No, but it's really, really bad, especially when you have the highest paid quarterback. In NFL history, you have, I mean, are we going to act like CeeDee Lamb's not one of the best receivers in the NFL?
Who does he play for?
He plays for the Cowboys. He's one of their receivers.
I'm just making sure you know your facts.
I'm just thinking about their offense. They have an excellent O-line.
Or maybe the Lions are just really good.
They're good, but no team in the NFL should be beating another team by 42 points. It's embarrassing.
Do you think the Lions are going to the Super Bowl?
I don't know why that question gave me Miranda Sings vibes. It sounded like Miranda Sings. I think the Lions have the potential to go to the Super Bowl.
You know who they play next week?
Who?
Or I guess this weekend when the people are listening to this? Vikings. And the Vikings are undefeated right now.
I mean, my pick is the Vikings.
Really? Okay, you can sleep outside.
Oh, yeah, my pick is the Vikings. I like what the Vikings are doing right now. And, Aidan Hutchinson, he is such a playmaker. He's a guy that's hard to stop. And Sam Darnold, the Vikings quarterback, you got to affect him. And if you don't have somebody they can bring in, like myself, it's going to be tough to get it. You can't replace that, and you got to figure out a way to replace it.
Yeah,
because their defense is not.
Aidan Hutchinson is a huge player for the Lions, so it'll be interesting to. I mean, but again, they won 47-9, so.
Yeah. I don't know if that's more their defense playing great or the Cowboys offense really not clicking.
Or there's no iron team. In other news, let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles because they had an interesting game against the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. I mean, they won, which is great.
Yeah, Eagles won. But the Browns and the Eagles both were not no bueno. They were not playing well. The Eagles haven't scored in the first half the entire season.
first quarter. But
That's what I meant.
but here's the thing. Again, it's this classic tale in the NFL of you paying these quarterbacks. I'm not going to say overpaid because I think Hurts deserves what he got. I mean, he's a great quarterback.
Daddy Hurts.
But
I would kill somebody if, whoa, I wouldn't, okay. I would hurt somebody if they ever called you daddy. So I know he has a fiance. I'm just putting that out there.
They got to figure it out, though. They got to get their offense rolling. They have a great receiving core that they should be able to take advantage of. But something's not clicking. But Sirianni, their head coach, he got a little spicy with the fans.
Yes, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles ended up clapping back at some fans, and a lot of people thought it was inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean, basically, he went to the fans and he said, long story short, calm down. It's hard to win in the NFL. You should be thankful.
Did you know what Jason Kelce said?
What?
That man loves his team.
I want my head coach saying that, and he's
you
right.
Want or you don't?
Yes, I want a dog head coach who goes to fans and is like, do you know how hard it is to win in the NFL? Like, the Browns are not great this year. I think they have the potential to be great. Right now, they're not playing at a high level. But he's like, look, it's a win is a win. When people look back at the stat sheet, they got to win. Next. So fans do need to calm down. I agree.
Some people are calling for Jason Kelce to be the head coach, which I find hilarious because just because somebody knows football doesn't mean they, one, want to be head coach, and two, have the capability to be a head coach.
Yeah, but I do think he'd be a decent head coach. Jeff Saturday, center.
Jason Kelce?
Yeah, longtime center for the Indianapolis Colts, got hired as their interim head coach. Did a decent job. I think Kelce would be similar, where he would come in and be a really good coach. But Sirianni's he's a great coach. He doesn't need to get fired. They should not fire him.
This is something that is not on my cheat sheet of notes for this episode, but I feel like it's important to talk about. I saw on TikTok a family named their son Kelce and then decorated his nursery to be Eagles themed. Do you think fandom goes too far in a sense, or do you think it's like kind of cute?
I don't understand it because I play. So it's like, I don't think it's too far. I just don't understand it. I'm not a big fan of anything to that extent.
Like people were commenting like, this is crazy, right? I think it's kind of cute. I mean, you're not going to name your child something like some people name their children. You can name your child whatever you want.
But think about this. Let's say that Scottie was a famous artist who wrote the song Hey There Delilah, and we made her room Delilah themed. I don't think that's weird.
No, I actually don't think it's weird.
I don't think it's weird either, actually, now that I think about it.
I wonder if anyone's going to name their child Isaac. Probably not.
No, probably Kuch.
Did you hear about the Chargers head coach, Jim Harbaugh? I can't say his name.
You don't say it because you're a Michigan State fan.
Exactly. So. He was questionable for the game. That's the first time any head coach has ever been questionable. Usually players are questionable, but he was having some issues.
You know his brother's a coach in the NFL.
I know, for the Steelers.
And
I just wanted to see if Isaac was react.
That's super funny.
No, for the Ravens.
For the Ravens. It's funny. For the Ravens, but he was doing his post-game press conference, and they said your brother had to get pulled away because
I know, so they pulled him out of the post-game interview.
He walked out.
I know. Well, yeah, if my brother was...
Yeah. So I've never heard of it. But that guy is like Nick Sirianni, where he will ride and die for his team. So he must have been down bad. He had an irregular heartbeat.
He had an arrhythmia.
Irregular heartbeat. Are you impressed that I just know this stuff?
Which is when abnormality causes the upper chambers of the heart to beat too quickly.
Yep.
What would you think as a player if you see your head coach heading to the locker room? Who steps in?
Probably your assistant head coach, which is usually the special teams coach.
So like if the president's out, like vice president is in.
Yeah, classic.
So why, when a head coach gets fired mid-season, does the assistant coach the assistant coach not step in?
Depends on the scenario. If you're late enough in the season, you might just, have your interim assistant coach. But I don't know. Everybody does it different. It's up to the owner/GM.
Speaking of owners, did anybody else see that Brady is trying to buy part of the Raiders?
He already is a part owner. That's why he's not allowed to talk about refs or anything.
Really?
Yeah, he's a part owner of the Raiders. He was last year.
Wait, then why did I just see that in the news now?
I think maybe he might have like increased his share.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why does he want? What's the benefit of owning an NFL team?
I mean, NFL franchises have doubled in value in the last 10 years. Just an investment.
And with this podcast, it's probably going to triple. Jesus Christ, we should get on that. In other news, the WNBA is in their championship. Like they're in their finals. Do you know anything about the WNBA, Isaac?
Yeah. Give me. I don't know the teams that are in the finals. I actually don't want
Minnesota Lynx versus New York Liberty.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty made it.
Yeah. And Game 4 is Friday at 5 p.m.
I'm excited to watch. I'm just excited for the WNBA.
Isaac wants our daughter to be part of the WNBA.
She's already going to.
Yeah?
I'm calling for Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese to coach her.
So
I'll match her salary.
Just like college football, they're entering a different type of playoff next year, and they're going to have the best of 7 games like the NBA. So just like college football, you know how college football is changing their playoff rules this year?
Mm-hmm.
Well, next year, the WNBA is going to change their playoff rules. So instead, it'll be best of 7 games, just like the NBA. So they're increasing games.
Makes sense. I mean, the revenues are up, the stadium attendance.
Do you think it has anything to do with revenue?
If they're adding games, it's always revenue.
Really?
Yeah, they're not like, oh, we wanted to be more competitive. They're like, boy, we can add 2 games potentially.
So for college football, you think they're increasing just because they want to increase revenue?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously,
I think it's just more fair.
You have to think about it this way.
You don't think it has anything to do with fairness?
No. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but
then let's not.
Okay, never mind.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
There will be teams that enter the college football playoffs that would have never otherwise entered. Yeah. Meaning there's going to be teams that will win national championships that would have otherwise never won. That's going to change recruiting. That increases overall revenue. Well, in the past
few years, there have been college football teams that have been undefeated that have not made it to the championship.
Yeah, and think about what that would do for those schools.
Yeah.
And just raising
the
whole economy.
I feel like we can come out with a whole episode about NIL.
I feel very strongly about NIL.
Okay, so then we have the capability to do that. In other news, I keep doing that to really a different topic. The MLB. We are in the middle of the league championship series.
The league championship? It sounds like it's like Sandlot, but go ahead.
Unfortunately, the Tigers are out, which is Detroit. So on Sunday, the Dodgers beat the Mets for a 9-0 shutout.
It's a big shutout.
Yeah. You know, the highest paid player in Mets franchise history, $341 million 10-year contract extension.
Wrong sport over
here.
You
chose the wrong sport.
Yeah. That's
where I get annoyed is like people are like, oh my God, you're just after Isaac for his money. It's like, why would I not chose a baseball player then?
It's crazy. 10 years, 300 plus mils.
Crazy. So the Guardians versus Yankees. They've already played game 1 and 2. And so game 3 is going to be tonight while this podcast is released. So this Thursday.
The city of Cleveland needs this. I'm just going to leave it at that. They need this. They need it. They're going to burn the city down. I'm telling you, that city will not make it.
But everybody is hoping for the Mets-Yankees World Series because they would call it the Subway Series, where you can go on the subway to these games.
I would love to go to one of those games.
I would love to go to one of those games because I don't have to worry about the traffic. You just get on the subway.
The subway would be a scene.
It would be so fun.
Yeah. We need to, yeah.
We should go.
I would go. I mean, Mets, Yankees, if you're listening to this, I'll pay my way. Just give me a ticket.
They're not listening, but you know who is listening?
What?
I don't know. I was just trying to segue because the podcast is over.
Okay.
Anyways, guys, I'm exhausted. It just turned 12:01 a.m.
Is it really 12?
Yeah. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to these Huddle episodes. I hope you learned something new today. And if you didn't, well, then hopefully Isaac can do his job better next week.
I'm so glad to be here every week.
Are you?
Yeah. No, I love doing this.
Why?
Okay.
Okay, thanks guys for tuning in. Be sure to tune in every Thursday and Sunday wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, sports aren't just the boys anymore.